What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for yet some more content for you guys, and it is that time of the year again. It is a Premier League and season prediction time. Me and Simeon have both done our predictions for the Premier League, for the Golden Boot winner, for Young Player of the Year, for Player of the Year, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. We've both done it. We don't know what each other have got, so I'm very much looking forward to this.
Obviously, there's going to be some bad ones, some good ones, but it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Let's get into it.
Fun. Well, let's get into it. Let's start off with our 1 to 20. We have predicted in the Premier League who will finish from 1 to 20. So let's start off with going from the top. And it looks
my one's on the left.
Yeah, so yours is next to you, mine's next to me.
Oh, okay, very good.
We've both picked Chelsea to win the league.
We have.
Bloody hell.
This is
Have we picked exactly the same order? Oh, no, not exact same,
not
but
exactly,
very close.
But very close. This is given Man City don't sign Kane for me. I think with Chelsea getting Lukaku over the line, that is a massive missing piece in their puzzle to really getting them to consistently beating teams, I think, when they're dominating. I think a lot of the times under Tuchel, they were dominating, but maybe struggling to really break teams down and got a lot of nil-nils or whatnot. But you can see they've got this base, this system where like every time they have possession, it seems like they always have a free man. They're so hard to outrun. And with players like Mason Mount, with Havertz and Werner given another year now, and Ziyech as well, and with Lukaku coming in, I think if City don't get Kane, then City are going to be easier to work out than Chelsea are going to be next season.
Yeah, look, I can't explain it better than you. I think that's absolutely spot on. I think, look, Chelsea won the Champions League last year. They won the Champions League, beating Man City in the final. And like you say, I think that what they were lacking was just that big front man that was going to bang them in goal after goal after goal, and they've got that in Romelu Lukaku now. So I back Chelsea. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I do back Chelsea to win the league this year.
Yeah.
My top 4 is then Chelsea, City, United and Liverpool.
Yeah, we've gone for the same top 4. I think City will just come a close second. I think if they don't get Kane, they did obviously do great last season without a striker, and I back them to carry on getting some success, but I just don't think it'll be enough to win the league this year with Lukaku there against Chelsea. So with United getting Varane and Sancho, that should be enough to tip them over Liverpool, unless Liverpool sign another player. And then obviously Liverpool got Konate, but I think with Salah, Mane and Firmino, I don't think they'll be as bad as they were last season. And Van Dijk coming back, that should see them back into the top 4. Well, they got top 4 last season, but I think you should see them comfortably in top 4. So I think that top 4 is pretty much nailed on, unless anyone below them does something drastic in the window between now and the end. I think that's pretty much nailed on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is question marks over Liverpool this season. There is question mark. Yes, I know they got their defence back, but their attack did look a bit disjointed last year. You didn't see the Mane. I mean, you saw Salah was on top 4 last year, but Mane didn't really come to the fore like he has done in previous years.
That's what I said. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year, and I think a lot of that was to do with their back line as well. It affects how they attack. So I think with Jota as well, having another year, who had a great first season, but then he got a bad injury. So I think he's going to be a big part of their season. So yeah, I think they'll get the top. I do think they'll get top 4.
Yeah, we both do. So the Europa League spots, we've both gone for Leicester 5th and Spurs 6th.
Well, I went for Spurs 5th.
Oh, you went for Spurs 5th and Leicester 6th. Okay, so the other way around.
Yeah, I've gone for Spurs to just shade it off Leicester, just because I think with Nuno coming and getting our fitness right, I think with our players, the quality that we have, if our fitness is spot on, I think there's more quality is going to shine from hoping in our players. Leicester, if they're still relying heavily on Jamie Vardy, I know they got Daka in, but I think he might take a bit of time to settle. If Vardy the goals dried up quite badly for him at the second half of last season, so I'm expecting him not to score as many this season, but I still think they'll be a solid team to face, and obviously they're still a very good outfit. So I'm just going for Spurs if they keep Kane to shade it past Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, my concern with Leicester is their defence, because obviously Wesley Fofana has been ruled out for the season. Johnny Evans is out for the first month or 2 of the season. So that leaves them pretty much with just Sionchu and Wes Morgan at the back.
And I think I played Amate as centre-back in the Charity Shield.
And James Justin has got an early season injury as well, so he's going to be out for a bit. But they do have Ryan Bertrand. And Castagna is also out injured, so they've got very big defensive problems, Leicester, at the start of the season.
They always seem to, and they always seem to kind of, yes, they faltered, but like they had a lot of issues last season. They seem to just deal with for a lot of the season. So that's why. So wait. Why are you saying Leicester?
Huh?
Why are you saying Leicester above Spurs then?
No, I'm saying this is my concern for Leicester at the beginning of the season. I didn't finish what my point I was saying. I was saying this is my concern for Leicester, but I do think they will have just enough, just because they've got Brendan Rodgers as manager, who's a brilliant manager. As you say, they do seem to cope when they have their injuries, and it's another year together as a team as well. So I think they'll be settled in this season, and I think they'll go good again. I think just missing out on Champions League once again, though. Tottenham in 6th. I think. Look, it's a new season for Spurs. New surroundings, new manager, new players. It's a bedding in season. It's a transitional season for Spurs. So I can't see us finishing above 6th, to be honest.
I've gone for 5th. Not won't be too much in it, I think. I said top 6. I think is our. I don't think we're going to get top 4. I think 5th or 6th is probably where we're going to end up. But I've just gone for Spurs just to pip Leicester, just because I do think our players are better. I really do. If they're fully fit and if they're on point, if Nuno can get the best out of them, I do think we got a better squad.
I agree with you. I think we do have a better squad, but I just feel like they're more settled as a team. They've been together now 2-3 years this side. Brendan Rodgers built something really good there, and I think that first season with Nuno, like I said, it's a transitional season for us. So I think we'll show up more of our potential next season as opposed to this season. The next in the Conference League spot, we've both gone for Aston Villa, if I can see right.
Correct. I've gone for Villa 7th. I just think they spent the Grealish money pretty wisely. I do think they invested in good areas. I don't think they've invested well enough to maybe challenge the top 4, but I think they're definitely going to be a challenging team and a hard team to face with that talent. So they already had a solid defence with the likes of Mings, Konter and Martinez making a solid base. So I think 7th for me.
So I've gone for Villa 7th, Arsenal 8th.
I've gone for Everton 8th.
Everton.
Ooh, I've gone Rafa Benitez to come in and make a big difference.
Really? I've gone for Everton in 12th.
12th?
Yeah.
You don't back Rafa? Why?
It's not that I don't back Rafa. I don't back, first of all, the signings that Everton have made. I think they've been awful, to be honest. Rafa, look, I like Rafa as a manager, but I think that he's going into this Everton job, and I don't think they've got a good squad there. I just don't think so.
I think, who's the manager for Ancelotti? I think there is potential in that Everton squad. You've got the likes of Digne, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. So I do think there's a lot of potential there if they can get the right balance.
I just think they're worse off from last season just because of the manager, first of all.
I don't think Benitez is a massive downgrade on Ancelotti.
Not a massive downgrade, but it is a downgrade.
I don't know. I don't see Benitez as a downgrade to Ancelotti.
Really? You think Benitez and Ancelotti on a similar level?
Why
I mean,
not?
I think Ancelotti is a better manager.
Yeah, but if Benitez, he might be a better manager, but also Benitez could be a better fit to Everton than Ancelotti was. It could be the case
but
as well.
It remains to be seen.
So I think under Benitez they might be stronger this season. I got a feeling.
I actually think they're going to be weaker, which is very interesting.
That's interesting. Well, I've gone for Everton 8th.
All right.
For Arsenal 8th. Arsenal, you backing Arsenal to?
Arsenal 8th, I put them.
Is that the same position that 3 years in a row?
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Do you think they'll improve this season at all? With Ben White coming in, Ramsdale now looks like coming in.
I just don't rate them. I mean, their squad is just... It's 8th level. It really is. I mean, who in their squad really excites you? Saka, Tierney. I think Ben White's a good player, but I'm not going to write home about him for 50 million.
Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelli's good, but he's always injured.
Yeah, so... Yeah, Aubameyang's another year older and he doesn't look interested. Lacazette...
Lack of threat.
Is exactly. Pepe maybe could come good. That's where they're probably
the thing is with Pepe, I actually think he's improved a lot since he's come to the Premier League. And, he got, 10 goals last season or something?
Yeah, but he's 5 and he got 5 in his last 4. So
which is impressive, though.
It is, but sometimes when it's end of season, people have the handbrake off and stuff like that.
Look, we can make excuses. I think Pepe has been a letdown for the price tag that he's come to the Premier League for sure. You can't say he hasn't. But I do think he's definitely one of their better players.
Yeah, he did definitely have a very strong end to the season last season. Remains to be seen whether he'll carry that form into the start of the season. But I agree. I don't think Arsenal have done the business probably they need to do this window just of yet. And I think their squad is in decline. You know, lost Ceballos and Odegaard as well. They're out of the squad. They haven't replaced them at all, have they?
No.
Replaced
apparently they're in talks to bring Odegaard back, but we'll see.
Okay, we'll see what happens. And Partey's now injured for the first 6 weeks of the season. So Xhaka signed a new contract. Yeah, I just...
By the way, you know, Xhaka signed an improved deal on 100 grand a week.
Wow, so
he must be on at least 150.
Probably.
Can you add Xhaka on 150 grand a week?
It's madness.
That's nearly as bad as signing up Willian to whatever he was on.
Yeah, Willian's still there, bloody hell.
You know what I mean?
So
Willian's had a bit too many pies on his holidays.
So for me, I've got them to go down, not down. I've got them to go be 10th.
Wow.
I've got them in 10th. I got Leeds to finish ahead of them.
I've got West Ham in 9th, Leeds in 10th, Wolves in 11th, and Everton in 12th, and then Brighton in 13th.
Yeah, so I've got Leeds, Arsenal, Brighton in 11th, West Ham in 12th, and Brentford 13th. I think West Ham, I've got them to drop down a bit just because they haven't really signed anyone. And they've signed Areola, but I think to really keep up, I know looks like they might get Milenkovic, but I really feel like they need a few areas maybe to keep the standards up, because I think they had a wonderful season last season, but I don't think they can rest in their laurels, and they seem to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, they are looking to bring in a centre-back, I think, whether it be Milenkovic or Zuma or something. But look, I agree with you. I don't think West Ham are going to be anywhere near as good as they were last season.
Yeah, I think they just had that amazing season, and I think they used every ounce of energy they could, and where they can keep that up, I'm quite doubtful of it.
And then after that, I've got Crystal Palace in 14th.
You got Palace in 14th. I got Palace to go down.
Interesting, to go down.
I've got them to go down.
Why'd you say that?
I feel like there's a lot of upheaval. Patrick Vieira in charge. I don't know if he's going to be up to it unless they sack him early and then they bring in another guy. But I just feel like Palace, they've let go a lot of their nucleus of their squad, and there's so much change in this going into this season. And I know they've kept Zaha, but with also Eze out for a big chunk of the season, I know they replaced him with what's his name, Ollie's from Reading. They signed him.
Yeah,
but
Michael Olise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure all this upheaval is going to be good for them.
I do feel Joachim Andersen's a good signing for them. You know, we were looking at him and we would have been happy with him as a signing.
Got relegated with Fulham.
He did get relegated with Fulham, but you know, you were very happy if we would have signed him at the time. So, and that's at Tottenham, not at Crystal Palace. And with Patrick Vieira, it is an unknown quantity. It is unknown, but I think he's done well in his previous managerial roles, albeit in kind of farmers leagues. But still, he's got a good reputation about him.
Okay, I wouldn't say good. I was like, he's done a decent job.
Yeah.
He's not like done exceptional.
No. Look, I've gone in 14th. I've gone Brentford in 15th.
I've gone Brentford 13th. Yeah, Brentford I think will stay up, and I think they'll be strong this year. And I think they've got that nucleus of a team who aren't going to have any fear in the Premier League. And I feel like even though
they got like a Bournemouth vibe to me.
Yeah, they might take one or two batterings, but they also will probably get more wins than they do losses.
Like Bournemouth did that first year in the Premier League. Then Newcastle I got in 16th.
I got Newcastle to go down.
Really?
Yeah, Steve Bruce extending his deal, all rumours. Haven't signed anyone. Who have they signed? I can't think of anyone. And I think they stayed up last season after a good late run, but they were always in the danger. And I think this season, if they don't sign anyone, could really be curtains for Newcastle.
The only reason I was thinking about Newcastle to go down, the only reason I didn't put Newcastle to go down is because I think there are worse teams in the league than them. And I'll get into that in a second. And this is one of the teams who I think will be worse than them this season, and that's Southampton. I put Southampton in 17th. Where did you put them?
I put them 17th.
Oh, you put them 17th as well, Southampton.
Yeah. Because
I think without Danny Ings, they're going to miss so much without him.
They will. I just feel like they have a better system tactically than Newcastle, and even if they bring in a striker, the system will create more chances for them than I think Newcastle will be able to create next season under Steve Bruce. So I think Southampton will be better off than Newcastle, in my opinion.
And there's also talk of maybe Yannick Vestergaard going to Leicester now as well.
If that happens, yeah. I'm sure they have to sign players
to supplement their defensive injuries, Leicester. So, I mean, I think Southampton, with the way they play, yeah, you're right, they've got that system in place, but that system is a bit too gung-ho.
It's very gung-ho.
So I think that they could really be left wanting, especially if they sell Vestergaard.
If they have, I'm sure they'll replace them.
Yeah, you never know with
Like
who,
Newcastle,
though. You don't know if it's a good replacement.
Newcastle haven't sold anyone, so like that makes or haven't sold anyone of note. So it makes sense that they haven't signed anyone. But in Southampton, they have to replace them, and Southampton's recruitment is usually fairly good.
Is usually good. Look, I said we both put them in 17th, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we both think they're going to have the same season. And relegation, I've gone for Burnley, Norwich, Watford.
Burnley, Norwich, Watford. I've gone for Norwich, Newcastle, Palace.
Wow.
Norwich,
That's so you got
Newcastle,
two mainstays of the Premier League going down.
I've gone Watford to stay up.
Interesting. Why have you gone for Watford to stay up?
Because I think under their new manager, they're a lot more. I know they've made a lot of signings already, but I'm hoping they've learned from a few more mistakes than they've made previously. Ismail El-Sarr as well is a star who I think could have a very big season this
Spurs,
season. He has been. He's going to have. I reckon he's going to have a strong season this season for Watford.
He's not the same Sarr that was on loan from Chelsea, right?
No,
that's different.
He's a defender. Yeah, he's this guy's a winger. So remember, he scored that brace against Liverpool when they beat Liverpool 3-0, ending their unbeaten run. I just think Watford will have enough to stay in the Premier League this season.
I've gone for Watford to finish bottom. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Bottom. I've gone for Watford to finish bottom, Norwich to finish 19th, and Burnley to go down as well on 18th.
I think Burnley always under Sean Dyche, they're never going to get relegated. It's a bit like Charlton under Kerbishley. Like they never went down under Kerbishley.
They did in the end, didn't they?
They did, not under Kerbishley.
When Berbatov sent them down, wasn't Kerbishley their manager?
No, it was Pardew.
Oh, Kerbishley was at West Ham then, wasn't he?
I think it's just one of those clubs. It just fits too well. Like he'll never. I don't think Dyche will ever get relegated.
I got a feeling it's going to happen this season. I mean, every year I'm on the same thinking of you, but for some reason I've just got an inkling in me that I think Burnley might just go down this year.
I think they'll get enough points. I really believe that. I think if Palace had like a different manager who maybe knew the Premier League, I think maybe they would be alright. But I think with Palace, with so much upheaval and then no stability even in the managerial as well, I don't know. I think it could go wrong badly.
All right, well, that is our Premier League predictions. Let me know your 1 to 20 in the comment section below. Let's move on to the Golden Boot. And I think we both know who, I'm guessing who you're going to pick is Harry Kane, because that's who I've picked.
I picked Lukaku.
Lukaku! I actually wrote down Lukaku and changed it to Harry Kane.
I went for Lukaku.
I wrote down Harry Kane, changed it to Lukaku, and then changed it back to Harry Kane.
One of those two, I think. But I think Lukaku coming back to the Premier League with Chelsea, seeing as I have them as winners, I think he's going to be Golden Boot. I think he's going to score a bucket load. I think he doesn't have as much weight in terms of carrying the team as Kane does, and I think sometimes that can hold a striker back a bit. Or look,
hasn't held him back last year.
Hasn't held Kane back, but I just think like Lukaku's what I'm saying is Lukaku's literally going to be in and around the penalty box all the time, getting all those like tap-ins and whatever. And with Chelsea, I think being better going forward than they were last season, I think he could easily get between 25 and 30 goals. I think Kane, if he stays at Spurs, or I think if Kane goes to City, he'll get it, basically. I think if Kane stays at Spurs, I can still see him hitting over 20, but I just think Lukaku will outscore him.
What's your prediction on how many Lukaku will get?
I'm going to go for 27.
27?
27.
Wow.
I'm going to go for Kane. If Kane stays at Spurs, he'll get like 23.
I still think it will be a very, very tight race between Kane and Lukaku, because I couldn't decide between the two. I just went for Kane for a bit of bias. I'm not going to lie.
Of course.
It is a bit of Tottenham.
And I think if Kane goes to City, he'll get 30 plus and he'll win it.
Yeah, he could. If Kane goes to City, he could get record Premier League totals, couldn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's our top goal scorer, Golden Boot winner. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win the Golden Boot. Now, Player of the Year.
Interesting one. I've gone for Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. Really? I've gone for N'Golo Kante.
Kante. Interesting. Fair. I know, he makes a big difference at Chelsea team, and he was didn't have the best of starts last season, but when Tuchel came in, he was back to his best, back to the Kante
I think
knew.
Since Tuchel has come in, I think this is the best N'Golo Kante we've seen.
He was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, Kante at the end of last season. Back to his Leicester days and when they won the league under Conte. He has had a bit of an iffy period since he won the league under Conte the first time round. But I think Tuchel, might have unlocked him. So I understand your thinking. I just think Mason Mount, he's that creative hub. for Chelsea. He plays multiple positions, plays in midfield, plays on the wing. So I think he's going to have a lot of game time. He's Mr. Consistent.
Could be a shout for young player of the year.
No, he doesn't qualify. I checked.
Oh, does he not?
I thought he did.
Oh, how old is
doesn't.
he?
He's 22. Have to be 21.
Oh shit! So the player I've picked then won't qualify either for young player of the year.
I checked it. I thought you were right as well because it used to be 23, but now it's 21
anymore?
now. You changed
How
it
old's
to
Ruben
21.
Diaz?
Ruben
He won
Diaz.
player of the year. Who won Foden won it last year.
Yeah, Foden won it. So,
so my young player of the year is void then.
We'll get into that. But I've gone for, I think Mason Mount is a phenomenal player. Really came into his own in the second half of last season. And I think with Chelsea, I fully expect him to get a lot more goals and assists than he got last season as well. And I think if Chelsea win the league, he'll be within a massive shout.
For player of the year?
Yeah.
N'Golo Kante.
Oh, sorry, N'Golo Kante.
And Kante, for me, is just, I think, hands down the best player in this Chelsea team. I think he's absolutely unbelievable. And like you say, since Tuchel's come in, I think, for me, he's been the best version of N'Golo Kante that we've seen in the Premier League. And I know it's just a friendly, but that first half he played against us.
He was incredible.
He was incredible.
Yeah.
He was incredible. And it's like, when you have him in midfield, it's like having 2 or 3 men in there.
It is, completely.
It's exactly what it's like. And I think if Chelsea do go on to win the league, I think he's going to be a very integral part of it and he'll get player of the year. Young player of the year now.
I went for the same guy last year.
Foden.
No, you went for Foden.
Who did you go for?
I went for Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood you're going for.
Only because I feel Rashford's got a lot of injuries. So I feel like, and with Cavani aging a bit, I feel like there's a lot of, and also Martial a bit our favourite at the moment. I feel like there's going to be a lot of time for him to be coming into the team, linking up with the likes of Sancho. I feel like this could be his year to really have a breakout. Missed out on the Euros, had a really strong end to last season. After had a really bad start, but has had like for the last 10 games.
Yeah, but you know what it's like end of the season when teams are switched off.
True. But he's 19-year-old, so I feel like he had a really strong end to the season. So I feel like Greenwood could really, I think he could really have a fast start to the season. Maybe want to make a statement that he, after missing out on the Euros, that he should have been there. So I think he only missed out because of injury, didn't he? He got injured. He got called up.
He got called up. I think it was only on the extended list, though. I'm not sure if he got called up to the actual squad.
Yeah, then he got injured and ruled him out. Yeah. So I think Greenwood, it could be his year.
Interesting. I kind of agree with you. I think Greenwood can kind of smash it this year. The player I went for, now I know he's too old, it's Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I think is he
Kai
too
Havertz
old?
is 22.
22. He just misses out. You have to be 21 on the 1st of July, so it depends when you turn 22.
I see. Well, assuming that he qualifies, I'm going for Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz.
I think that Kai Havertz, I think the second half of the season, he really, really improved. You really saw him knuckle down in the Premier League. I mean, he get goals, he gets assists. And I think, like I said with N'Golo Kante, I think that a bit similar to what you were saying with Mason Mount, I think can still apply with Kai Havertz. I think he's a brilliant player, I really do. And I think he's a better player than Mason Mount. I really believe that.
Really? I don't think he's a better player than Mason Mount. I think Mount has more to his game. I think he's more two-footed than Kai Havertz. And the thing is with Kai Havertz, he had a great second half to the last season. However, with Lukaku coming in, Havertz was a lot playing false 9.
Yeah, he was.
So whether they fit a different
very
system,
versatile, Havertz.
He is. So it depends where they play him, because they don't usually play a guy in the hole because they have that 3 at the back system. So unless they change it to maybe Mount in midfield, Havertz behind Werner and Lukaku with 2 wing backs possible. Depends how they fit him in. But yeah, it's not a bad shout. I think he's going to have a strong season.
What are we going for? FA Cup. FA Cup next. I've gone for Tottenham.
Yep. I've gone for Spurs. Only because Nuno actually takes the cups. Took the cups fairly seriously at Wolves. He got to I remember in his first year in the Premier League, he got to the semi-final and were really unlucky not to have gotten to the final. And if they would have gotten to the final, I reckon they would have given City a really good game. And they lost to Watford 3-2.
Who are you talking about?
Wolves.
Oh.
I remember they lost to Watford in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and they were 2-0 up. I don't remember. They were 2-0 up, and Watford scored 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, and they end up losing. Yeah, and then Watford got battered 6-0 in the final. And given how Wolves had played against the top sides, if Wolves had gotten to that final and not collapsed in the last 10 minutes, I reckon they would have a better shout than Watford.
Yeah, definitely true.
That's
definitely true.
So I think Nuno's going to know how much we want one of the cups. I think he had a few big wins. I think he's beaten Man United in the FA Cup, and I think he's beaten Liverpool in the FA Cup for Wolves as well. So I've gone for Spurs to take it really seriously and hopefully come home with a trophy at the end of the season.
It's
Fifth
lucky
in the trophy
for Spurs when the year
Come
ends
on.
into League Cup, Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I've gone for the only team who wins every
Man
bloody
City.
year.
Yeah, me as well.
They win every bloody
Yeah,
year.
Man City. I mean,
Man
there's not
City.
much point talking about it. We know who's going to win the League Cup.
Literally every year. They have the best second team, and that's it. They win the League Cup.
Champions League. Is there any other team?
Well,
I've gone for PSG.
Yeah, I've gone for PSG as well. But if Kane does sign for City, it becomes a different conversation. But I think at the moment, it's PSG.
You can't look past Eminem.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You just
Eminem.
can't pass them. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, and forgetting all the other players around them as well. You know,
It's all about
Marquinhos and Sergio Ramos centre-back partnership.
It's all about if Pochettino can find the right balance in the team, because obviously we've seen it before where teams with these great strike forces and then they neglect how the team plays, and all of a sudden they don't get the right balance and they end up getting battered or whatever, or not being as effective as they can. I trust Poch to get the right balance. I think he knows.
Can he get them to do the Poch press though?
Maybe not, but he'll have literally. If I was Pochettino, I've said this before. I know he's got other players, but literally get as many defensive players in there as you can, because M&M will just do it for you. They will. You just get the ball to them, and they will do it for you. So get Gay in there, get a Herrera in there, get as many defensive players backing them up as possible, because they're not going to be the most intense pressers. But in the final third, if you get the ball to them, you will score bucket loads. So you just need the ball. That's all you need.
All right, Europa League. Now this one's going to be interesting because it's impossible to call this one. Had a look at the teams that are in it. It's impossible to look at a Champions League team that are going to drop out. So you have to assume one of the teams that are in it are going to win it.
Yeah,
I've
so
gone for
Sevilla
Napoli.
drop out, but you've gone for Napoli. I've gone for Lazio.
Lazio. I mean,
Lazio.
I was thinking of Lazio, but they just lost their manager.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, they'll miss a lot without that manager. I mean, he did very, very well there at Lazio. So I think Lazio are going to drop off a bit next season. So that's why I've gone for Napoli and Spalletti.
I've only gone for Lazio for Immobile is such a talisman for them. He scores so many in the Serie A. If they can kind of get that into a tournament, maybe they'll drop off a lot in the league. But if they can get focus on the tournament, maybe they can get some joy. But I think as you say, it's really hard to predict.
You know who's not a bad shout though is Leicester. Leicester's not a bad shout.
They went out to Slavia
League.
Prague last
I know, but I think that was shocking how they went out to Slavia Prague, and they'll learn lessons from that. And I think they'll come back stronger in the Europa League this year.
Yeah, maybe Leicester are a good shout.
And last but not least, the Conference League, and we know who's going to win this one.
Roma.
You've gone for Roma.
Yeah.
I've gone for Tottenham.
You went for Tottenham. A double.
Yeah, the double.
Tottenham
the
to
FA
win
Cup
a
and
double.
Conference League double.
I reckon it's going to be Roma will screw us. I really believe. I think it's written.
Tottenham Roma final.
I think it's written. I don't know about final, but I think it's written at some point we'll face Roma and they're going to beat us. I think they're the only team really who are currently in the competition who really could stop us, and I think they will. I really think they will.
Jose must be dying to draw us, surely. No?
Yeah, I think it's written in the stars. Unfortunately, I really do. I think Spurs will be happy enough with an FA Cup, and I think the Conference League will get to I don't know when we'll face them, but I reckon we'll lose to Roma.
I know we're definitely facing them,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say we're gonna beat them.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I hope I'm right too. But look, that is our season predictions. Let me know in the comment section below. I want to know all your predictions for everything that we have predicted today. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.